Hello everybody, I was looking for a good example to show how you can use libopc in your project, and I thought it would be a good idea to demonstrate how to use libopc in WebKit to add support for, let's say, docx or any other OPC container to WebKit. The first thing you need to do is get WebKit up and running. It's quite simple according to the documentation found on www.webkit.org, so it just took some time to compile. The next thing you need to do, of course, is get libopc. So I have libopc running checked out in this directory. It's libopc sandbox 5. The next thing I need to do is configure libopc. I need to use some more switches because WebKit is using the internal setlib and WebKit is using the internal libxml of Mac OS X. So this is the configure line. It's straightforward, quite simple. Just run the configure, run the make, and you get libopc compiled. The next thing you need to do is let Xcode or WebKit know where to find the header files. This you can do here in the header search path. You need 3 headers or 3 search paths. So this is the root directory of where libopc lives. Then you need to config the config directory and the config directory generated by the makefile. Once you have that, you just need to add the 2 libraries. So this is the libopc static library, and then you need to platform static library generated by the make. You can find them here in build, platform specific prefix. Here's libopc, and here's the platform library. So at this point, we're ready to go. We can start hacking WebKit. So when you examine the code, you'll see that there's one file, it's archive factory, and it currently has one factory registered. It's a legacy web archive. That's a bundle based on the core framework from Apple. And I thought that would be a good idea to reuse that framework to add support for OPC archives. So the one thing you need to do is register the MIME type for, let's say, docx files. If you want to have PowerPoint or Excel, you just need to register a different MIME type here. And then the OPC archive factory. That's really all you need to do in the existing WebKit code, and then you need to write 2 new files. So one is the OPC archive header. It is basically just a class derived from archive, and you need to implement 2 factory methods. That'll create an empty OPC archive, and that's the method being called by the WebKit framework. And you get a shared buffer with the bytes being downloaded from the internet or from wherever. So all you need to do is implement these 2 methods. So this is a very simple implementation. Just creates an empty archive, and then there's the other implementation of the factory method, which takes a shared buffer, and we just create an empty archive, and then we use libopc to open the container in memory. So we just take the data, the size, read-only, no user data being parsed, and if that succeeds, get a container, and then we can start generating a response. And so we just take a shared buffer and generate the response in that, which is a web page enumerating all parts. And then there's this helper method, append text. It's a very simple method. It just appends this text to the shared buffer. And so we generate an HTML page, and then we use libopc to iterate through all parts of the container. And for every container we generate a list item displaying the part name and part type. And then, we add a little bit more fancy stuff. So we want to enumerate all the pictures in the container. And again, we enumerate through all the parts. And for every part, we check the MIME type. And if the type is an image, like JPEG or PNG, we generate an image tag. And additionally, we add a sub-resource to WebKit so that WebKit actually can display the image. And it's quite simple using libopc. So we just get a stream and get the data and put them in a temporary picture buffer, and then hand the picture buffer over as a sub-resource to WebKit. That's really all you need to do. And once you've done that, we can add the main resource and let WebKit know what the main resource is. Just close the OPC container and we're done. That's really all you need to do. So let's have a look at how that really runs. So just run the stuff. Just have one custom script running, checking whether everything is okay. That takes a little bit more time than normal because of the screen recording running. So we're back. Linking is finished. Safari file is up, and here we are. So we use the Office OpenXML specification revision 1 part 1. Here you see all the parts in that, and then you see all the pictures in that file. So let's have a look at a more complex example. It's part 4. So you see all the parts. Really lots of stuff in there. And then you see all the pictures. And so I hope you noticed how, first of all, fast this was, extracting all these pictures and all this stuff using libopc. And a second thing, I hope you noticed how easy it was using libopc in, for example, WebKit. And I hope you start using WebKit, using libopc, of course, in your projects. So thanks for listening.